Plants are highly specialized beings, and in different climates, they do different modifications so that they can be more productive and healthy in that area.
We'll begin today with the orchid. There are literally 25,000 different varieties of orchids, and each has a special adaptation to help them survive in the competitive plant world. The orchid's third prominent lip, called the labellum, is a unique form from most other flowers. It serves as a convenient landing pad for pollinating insects, which holds the pollen on a sticky pad ready to transfer onto the insect. Other orchids, like the fly orchid, have petals that appear in the shape of an insect and release a smell into the air like the pheromones of a female insect, drawing the male insect into the flower to carry out the pollination.
All right, on to the dry, arid conditions where cacti and succulents prevail. So, cactuses and different plants have thorns and prickles and spines as an adaptation. So, a reduced surface leaf area means reduced water loss. It also means protection from animals. Photosynthesis takes place in the green stems instead of on the leaves. Spines are modified leaves, while the stipules on some woody plants are actually, thorns. Prickles are not modified stems or leaves. They are outgrowths from the epidermis or cortex. Cactus are succulent plants. They use CAM, crassulaceae acid metabolism, as part of photosynthesis. This means transpiration occurs at night, not at the same time as photosynthesis. Water loss is significantly reduced in this way. And now, we will take you outside to a cooler climate.
Here in the mountain forest biome, we encounter bitter cold in the winter and frozen ground. The winters combined with dry summers and high temperatures to provide a general lack of water for such trees as pines. Additionally, forest fires are common in this climate, and pines must also adapt to these. The roots of most conifers have mycorrhizal fungi, which allow them to provide nutrients for themselves. Also, the roots of adjacent pines often interweave to provide stability in the wind, which is helpful on the sides of cliffs and mountains. Many pines, like lodgepole and the ponderosa you see here, have a very thick bark, which allows them to withstand forest fires. The leaves of a pine are connected together into fascicles, like this. The fascicles drop off a few at a time, allowing the plant to have enough leaves to remain healthy. Resin in the leaves prevents the development of fungi and deters insect attack. The veins are surrounded by the endodermis to protect them, and the leaves are able to retain water in the dry climate. They do so with special adaptations such as sunken stomata, a thick cuticle, and a hypodermis, which is a layer of thick-walled cells under the epidermis. Pines reproduce by producing huge amounts of pollen grains, which are spread by the wind. There are 1 million pollen grains per cone and 50 pollen cones per cluster, with as many as hundreds of clusters per tree. The cone scales open to allow the pollen in and then close again to protect the developing ovules. Seeds have wings which allow for wind dispersal, but the seeds can also be dispersed by squirrels or other animals that break open the cone. In response to forest fire, there are some pines that can survive. Lodgepole and ponderosa pines can survive fires, as previously mentioned, because of their thick bark. Knobcone pines require high heat from a fire just to open their cones. Other pines have seeds that only germinate after high heat exposure from a fire. Ponderosa, jack, and southern longleaf pines don't like shade, so they replace themselves very quickly after a fire as they reach for the sunlight. In this way, pines are able to survive in the harsh mountain biome.
That is how plants are specialized.